Welcome to Behind the Whistle, podcast and video cast of elite level referees and members of WWR so that you can get a better understanding of who that person is behind the whistle. You know, we're super excited today. We have George Stavridis with us. And this is the inaugural episode of Behind the Whistle, and where you get to learn more about each and every member of WWR. So I'd like to welcome Giorgos Stavridis from Greece.
Hello, Steve. Thank you very much for the auditors that they listen to this interview. It's a very big pleasure that you invite me, and I will be the first that I will have this interview. Correct, you said that WWR is a very strong and big organization. You are one part of that. You are our back office, and you take care of us from LA and USA. And of course, you are very active with our president Boris Marketa, but also the vice president, except myself, Ilstion Will is also. And correct that you said that our organization is try to solve some problems for our members and follow the rhythm, the pulse of the water polo, our passion, our life.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much. George, what makes up Giorgos Stavridis? Where are you from? Who is the person that is out officiating these unbelievable high-level games? And on such a consistent basis, who is that person?
First of all, I want to say that I'm from Greece. I born in Piraeus. It's a port, the biggest port of Greece. It's a city that has a lot of activity in water polo. I work in Alpha Bank. I have in the private banking, I have two kids. They play water polo in Glyfada, just for you, if you have any competition. 12 and 13 years old, Haris and Irini. The reality is that I follow the water polo almost every day. I try to make some gym or some movements or swimming. And I follow the players. I follow all the teams. What is the transfer? What is the condition of the players, because my job is to officiate them and I want to have for them the all information that I help them with the rules. My daily activity is just, I wake up, I go to the bank, and after the bank I go to swim somewhere in some swimming pools or in the sea, and almost every day I'm in Glyfada club because my kids, they play their water polo, and I try, to follow and keep the pulse of our sports.
Oh, that's fantastic. So you obviously were around water polo as a child. At what level did you transition from being a player and then got into officiating? How did that look in your life?
This is a very good question. I want to tell you that I was a player in Ethnikos Club. It's one historical club in Piraeus, also in Europe. And from the junior, when I was a player in junior teams, under 15 or under 17, I like also to be referee for the friendly games when I had the free time after the school. And after I went to play in second division, in A2 division, in one team that want to grow. And when I was 21 years old, everybody know that I was referee because, I accept my duty as a player. I was center forward, not very strong. I play with the rules most of the time. And, the federation came to me and demanded me to stop from player. And, that time also I entered to the bank and to start to be referee. So from 21 years old, I started to be referee in the first division in Greece.
That's fantastic. So you started officiating when you were 21 years old. You now have how many thousands of games under your career now, you figure?
Steve, honestly, I don't count. It's a lot. But for me, the most important is that I respect the players, and I'm happy when I think in 95 or 97% of my games, the loser come to me and give me congratulations. So, to be honest, I had very, very important games. Also with you, I had some important games in World Championship, Olympic Games, Asia Games, a lot of finals in other continents or countries. But for me, the most important I received from the players that after the game, the loser come to me and say, thank you very much, George. Or maybe somebody has one question. Maybe I didn't whistle something correct. So I try to explain and say, sorry, yes, you are right. I try to fix it and find the best way for the next game.
And I think that's what's so admirable about you is that you have always been a student of the game. Even as a very high level referee, you're constantly working on improving. What would be the best advice you could give to a new referee or even a referee that maybe is still trying to get better at officiating? What would your advice be?
This is a very good question, and I want to answer the referees must follow the players and the action of the sports. Of course, they must be serious, because if you are not serious, you cannot be referee, and you cannot be normal person to work in one would be job. You must be serious. But as a referee, the players look us, the official, all eyes are on us, president of countries, president of federation, president of clubs, president of international federation, players, coaches, assistant coaches, spectators. So I think the best for referee, he want to be correct and approach all important game, is use the rules with the correct way and keep the word flexibility and interpretation what is necessary. And I want to give you one small example. In life, if you kill someone or your wife or your family, you go to the court, and after, of course, you will be innocent, because somebody entered you and, he create for you, he want to make the worst damage in the world. So I want to say that when one player commit one mistake or something happen, sometimes with our interpretation of the rules, we can ignore it, or we must forward, or we must understand what was the position and how he do. And I want to say one very good example from that. I had one very important game in Vouliagmeni Olympiacos, and at the end, with one goal, the Olympiacos won the game inside Vouliagmeni. It was full of public, police, and etc., and took the championship. So after the game, the captain of Vouliagmeni, Milonakis, he had 3 Olympics with the Greek national team, was one of the biggest talent, together with Christos Stavridis, commit one act of, we can say, disrespect. He came to the table, he said this is not correct, and started to complain, and was, in the limit to give him one report and give him a red card. And immediately, when he left, I was ready to write the report, and the captain Aphrodakis, Christos, he came to me and he said, George, look, you are right what you do, but sometimes even in the court, the judge forgive and give for first time one forgiveness to them. This man, he complained to you, he has his mother sick from cancer, and he has a family with 2 kids, and he was very upset, upside down psychologic, very bad psychologic moment, and sure, he go home and cry for that he do. So please, if you have the possibility, just forgive him for one time, and I think next time will be okay. So I listened him his advice, and finished the championship. Was June, September, started the championship, and Milonakis, he came to me when he saw me in the swimming pool before one game of Vouliagmeni. He said, can I speak to you 5 minutes? Of course. So we went one room. He told me, I don't forget in my life this moment. I was bad, make a very big mistake, but you forgive me. And what finally happened, the sport connect us better. So this is the interpretation, sometimes we must have it. And I think that the players understand that we are here to help them with the rules. Yes. This is the most correct word. We want to help the players. We are not against the players. We are not stupid players. All players, they have family, kids, contracts, coming from poor countries, spend money. I give you an example. South African players pay all expenses from their pocket to live from Johannesburg and come to all competition, and they want to compete. So this is our job, to listen to them, understand them, what they do for our sport that we love so much, and we have the interpretation to judge them correctly.
And do you think that's one of the hardest things for a younger referee or a newer referee, is to understand that spirit of the game, that part of it?
Look, to be honest, for the young referee, I don't think that he has from the beginning, the knowledge to understand. But if he starts with the basic things like the behavior in the swimming pool, knowledge of the rules, education, a lot of information that he can receive from the mentors, like for you in USA, one new referee, like, I don't know, I saw one referee now, Spirit Santo, is young. I think he can advise you when you want, he can listen to you and tell him, my advice is this, be careful that. So I think that the new referee must be like one spoon and receive information, and we invest to them, and after 5-10 years, they can drive all the important competition. This is the most important. And sometimes I'm very, very tough with some referees that now receive important games, and I tell them that, look, we give you games, the federation give you games, the international federation give you games, they credit to you, and now it's your time. Don't go back. Understand? This Steve is, I think, in our sport, the mentors are very important, because the referee is alone when he start the game, he's alone. Yes. You know very well. Yes. He was in a lot of competition. You know very well. He was in Olympics, World Championship. What mean this? So you are alone, and then you have in your hands the rules behavior, and everything that you must have it to help you to make one game successful.
Now, you just got done officiating the World Championships, and congratulations on your appointments as well. You have whistled the gold medal games. You bring up a good point of being alone as a referee. What does that look like for you, Yorgo? How do you mentally prepare yourself and keep calm and relaxed to make sure that you whistle the best you can for the players?
First of all, this is a very good question. I want to say that, first of all, I follow the players. In each competition, I try from the beginning, the first 3-4 days, to be all day in the swimming pool and see the condition of the players, drivers, centers, goalkeepers, because the teams make a lot of time bring new players, new systems, and etc. And I want to tell you about this game, Italy-Spain, that always before I have a game, I go to swim, relax, I don't eat, I drink one espresso, I'm calm, my clothes are very good, everything. And we were there with my colleague Boris Marghetta, and I want to say that when we are whistling together, I think that we whistle two people and just one whistling. It's like to be one, because I know how he whistles, he know how I whistle. We divide very well the field of play because the players are now very fast. And I want just to give one memo for this game, for the youngest referee, that now this game had a lot of speed because Italy was super speed team, but also Spain was speedy team, but plus strong technique. So the game was all the time changing directions, centers, drivers, and Spain play one system like don't have center, and after they have drivers from position 2 to position 5, from position 5 to position 2, and after the center came back the last 10 seconds. So, the two referees all the time must remove and change the angle of the what they see and who is the second center. So every game we must have meeting with our colleague how we divide the space, because now the water polo became very strong.
And you really, was the epitome of two officials working very well together. I watched that game. There were so many highlights from an officiating perspective of how you collaborated. And really, I think that is you were an integral part in 2009 that World Water Polo Referees Association was organized. And in your vision, why was that important? Why was it important that WWR come about and unite the world of referees?
First of all, I want to say that this association now we have and we drive very well. It's one association that we want to help our members. We want to help the sports. We work full voluntarily with the education committee and with the education committee, with the rules committee, with the discipline committee, with financial support of all these, big organization now. And our goal is to pass the information. How is this now the level of water polo, even in countries like Kazakhstan, Venezuela, Argentina, Brazil, New Zealand, South Africa, because our sport needs all these countries to be bigger and bigger. And I want to say something that, except this final Spain-Italy that all the world saw this game, I want to tell you that I have one important game in the beginning of the competition. I went to Sopron for Brazil-Kazakhstan women. And I was very happy. Okay, Kazakhstan won 2-3 goals because they had two old players and we were strong. But the Brazil, after the coach came to me, hugged me, he said, "Thank you very much. We know where is the level of refereeing we want to reach." And I said to my players to continue in this level so we can be more attractive and we can receive more victories in the future. So our association to this goal. Today, if VVR sat down, will be a big gap between the referees, the FINA, the technical committees, and continents federation. So it's a part of the sport, and it's a part of our sport, this association. He gives to the referees seriously and very, very important position in the market, because the referees are very important part of the sport, of all sports. And I think that we will work very well with our president Boris Marghetta, with you, with Dion Willis, with myself, with Matan Svars that support us. And in the future, we will be much better and much better.
I completely agree with you. I think WWR has done so much to unite the world and to cross the bridges from different federations, associations, organizations, to really bridge that gap and bring referees together so that we can be a united front and really make sure that we're officiating the game of water polo the same around the world. To kind of wrap up, because I know that you're a busy man, what is the best advice that you would like to end on today that you could give not only the members of WWR, but even a referee that's considering maybe even being a member or getting into officiating? What's the best advice you could give a referee today?
I want to say that for one referee today, first of all, he must know the rules, because if you don't know the rules, you cannot work. And the second and most important is work every day and try to keep his performance and follow the sport through the channels like YouTube channels, FINA TV, and etc. Collect information, and day by day he increases his level, respect the players and the officials, and try to work with them, of course, with the rules to reach a better level every time. And sure, the water polo today has so big activity that we need all.
That's so true. And Yorgo, I just want to personally thank you for taking the time to sit down, have a discussion, because it's really important to find out what makes a top level referee, but we only get to see you on the television and on the catwalk. And now we get to see the person behind the whistle that is officiating these top level games. So personally, I want to thank you.
Steve, thank you very much. First of all, you wake up so early because we are in Ithaki Island, in the paradise here. It's the city of Odysseus, everybody know from Troia. But I want to say that our association has some people that work in the dark room like you, and you support us all the time. And I think that in the future, personality like you and some other people like Matan Schwarz and etc., they must go further higher. So we want to spread all this knowledge to all over the world. Thank you very much, and have a good day in fantastic San Diego you are.
Thank you. For more information regarding the World Water Polo Referees Association, find us on the web at www.pra.org. There you can check out the latest news, information, and all of the education that WWR is providing on a global scale.